last 5 programmes, our 3 happily married couples have taken part in a series of challenges designed to test some traditional ideas about men and women. Is it really true that men can't iron and women can't navigate?
Yeah, I don't know why they moan, it's easy this.
We've looked at who's the best at pulling, who can change the dirty duvet the quickest, and even which sex understands their kids the most. But after 14 gruelling challenges, the boys and girls are still evenly matched. In this long-running war between the sexes, there's been no outright winner. So, we've decided to treat both teams to the prize. But to make sure they don't enjoy the spoils of victory too much, we've thrown in one final challenge, just to spice things up a bit.
See, when Dave goes away, he has about 1 pair of pants and a pair of shorts, and when I go away, I have everything but the kitchen sink.
The girls' prize is a brilliant weekend in a 4-star hotel and spa beside the River Thames.
Goodbye to the zoo.
They're going to have a weekend of unadulterated pampering, 3 days of luxury. Just like home, really.
In the morning, you need to confess your sins.
Not the whole rugby club.
Taking a coat? Can I put my tracksuits in cold weather?
As for the boys, they've chosen a brilliant weekend in Spain. They'll drink beer and watch Real Madrid complete with David Beckham. But there's original thinking for you.
Oh, there's the tickets. The golden tickets.
3 tickets to Real Madrid.
Well, more of them later, but let's find out how the girls' weekend is kicking off.
Oh, this is going to be a good weekend, girls, I reckon.
Isn't it lovely to get away from it all?
Just no children.
Just the 3 of us.
No
men,
camera,
no kids,
up your nose.
no animals.
Animals? Surely they don't mean they're menfolk.
Well, here we are in Madrid. Yep.
We're off the lead, and we've got 4 days.
Watching the football and drinking.
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 No, they do mean they're menfolk.
And we're going to enjoy every minute of it.
Cheers.
So cheers, guys. Let's drink to that.
Are the boys looking for some culture in Madrid? Excuse me, the Prado Museum's the other way.
It's just like the House of Commons, isn't it?
Only completely different.
It's not bad, actually. I might give him a few lessons before I go home to England.
A world away from all that talk of beer and football, the girls are getting their first taste of pampering on their luxury break.
Okay, right, so you've all got our treatment, so half an hour slots each. We do have a few treatments that we can actually offer you.
Hotel beautician Tammy is telling them just what pampering they can expect.
A mini facial, a scalp massage, an aroma back relief, which is basically a back massage, but actually exfoliating the back first of all.
But don't they always get treated like this?
We'd never get a massage at home. Only my daughter, Maddie, will give me a massage sometimes. But Kelvin never would. No way.
Dave massages me. He gives me massages my feet a lot as well.
I like having my feet massaged, actually.
Would Alan do it for you?
He does my feet, not as often as he used to, I have to say.
It's reassuring to know that our boys are still interested in girls' bodies, even if they are different girls.
The girls seem to have lovely bums, and they all seem to walk with the same wiggle. It's like a real Spanish thing. Don't seem to get it at home, which is a real shame.
The boys might be on to their second beer, but the girls aren't far behind, and with so much more class.
Right, girls, I think this calls for a nice cold glass of champagne to start our weekend off with a bang.
Go get it, Sue.
What should we toast to? Absent husbands, I think.
Absence. Just the thought of it.
There you go.
Cheers.
To absent husbands.
And no
Bottoms up.
children.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Let's see if a drop of bubbly can help us get to the truth about sex wars. We've put them through a lot of challenges, but what stood out for Sarah?
I think the driving challenge is the hardest one for me because I wasn't expecting to feel so nervous about skidding and...
All she had to do was drive around a track without spinning off it.
That was you did so good. It looked brilliant.
It feels horrible.
Oh, and to do it faster than her partner.
I don't normally consider myself a competitive person, but knowing that I was up against Kelvin and it was a driving challenge made me really determined to beat him on that one. Yeah. And I think I did, so that was good.
The most demanding challenge for me was the map reading, because I know I'm not very good at it.
Hang on, it's north at the top, isn't it?
Southeast.
How do you know that? Oh yeah.
Southeast we're facing.
Which team could use a map to find their way to the pub? A no-brainer this one was.
I knew that the boys would get back really quickly because Dave's very good at that. So that was the worst one for me, really.
We're here, but the pub's disappeared. The sign was in front of us, and now we're heading down the lane again.
I knew we'd get back eventually, but I thought it might have been dark.
I just couldn't believe when I saw those three outfits. I just knew that one that I didn't like was the one that Alan had got, because I knew that Joe would wear a certain thing, Sarah would be the other thing, and I knew that the one that was left was mine, and I just couldn't believe it because it's just not me.
Do you need some help?
Yeah.
What kind of help?
I don't know.
Oh dear, Alan. But how many men really know their partner's taste in clothes? Or even their size?
Well, I don't mean it nastily, but where you ever thought I'd wear a skirt like that, Alan?
Kelvin was actually pretty predictable to me in most of the challenges. I knew pretty much how he behaved, but the one that really surprised me was the children's party.
Has everybody got their hat finished?
Everyone's got their hat.
Organising a children's party? It was a piece of cake for these big kids.
Here be Skull Island, and maybe there'll be a map buried there.
I thought it was going to be a disaster, and I think Kelvin really came into his own as a children's entertainer, albeit a slightly drunken one.
3 cheers for the captain! Hip hip! Oh!
The song was just absolutely hilarious, and actually we're all still singing it now. It's become a bit of an anthem.
Passing the parcel today.
Passing the parcel. Can't help it.
What's your sponsor?
Well, that's the girls' view, but what about the boys? Kelvin is still basking in the glory that was the kids' party.
Well, I thought for me that challenge, the party, was quite easy, but I think really it was the ironing was the hardest one for me. I didn't do well at that, and just no good at ironing at all.
Well, he's certainly right there.
This is Kelvin's ironing, and I felt that Kelvin was the least experienced ironer. This blouse really is a bit of a disaster.
I don't do a lot of ironing, but nor does Sarah either. The iron might come out, it's like Christmas, comes out once a year if it's a shirt to be ironed, but she's no better at ironing than I am.
The challenge that taught me the most about Sue was the map reading one. It just goes to prove that there was one scene in the drive, you know, when they were her and Joe were driving, and she went, "Oh, it's over there, turn left."
Hatch Beecham, Sarah said. There we go, left.
Where?
Oh no, that's Beauchamp.
No, he said to go that way. He said to
did
turn
he?
around and go back that way.
It just reinforces
that I should never ever listen to anything that Sue says about turning left, right or wherever.
I wonder if she meant Beauchamp, because that sounds a bit like Beecham, doesn't it?
But the map reading was probably the one that gave me the most satisfaction, because we beat them so soundly.
Well done, mate.
It was the fact that we were stood there for half an hour with a pint in our hand and nicely chilled. Good job, well done. Just waiting for the girls to turn up. You know, that's what gave me the most satisfaction.
But you're here now, and that's all that matters.
The girls might have lost the navigation challenge, but overall it was just too close to call.
And we start with right.
In part 2, we'll put both teams to their paces just one more time. How will they get on in a challenge up against each other? Find out after the break. We couldn't let the boys loose in Madrid without letting them experience some Spanish culture and some Spanish girls. With traditional dancing, you get both.
Okay, we are going to learn a dance, a very old dance. It's called Sevillanas. It comes from Sevilla, and it's a very old dance and very nice dance, and it's a very romantic dance. You have to dance with the partner, and it's a very romantic dance. You have to see the girl very, the sight is very important with the girl, and you have to cross with her many times during the dance. And that's all.
Yeah, we've not got a lot of dancing experience between us, I don't think.
No.
We're normally propping up the bar while the girls are off boogieing. Whenever we go anywhere where dancing's involved. So
we start. It is always 6 times for everything.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each step. Okay. So we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Balara has got just 2 hours to knock them into shape. That's when their dancing partners will arrive. That might not be quite long enough for Kelvin. Who said that men can't dance? Alan and Dave seem to be getting the hang of it.
Last night's beer is making an exit.
Absolutely.
How's it going, Kelvin?
Sarah wanted to do some lessons once, she said perhaps we ought to go to some classes, but I had to talk her out of it because I've got 2 left feet. I told you before, it's Fred Dibner, not Fred Astaire.
My name is Laura.
My name is Isabel.
My name is Paloma, and we dance Sevillanas.
Go. Pero no giraros nada, de frente, frente. Anda, anda. Aquí ya está a la izquierda, ¿vale?
No way, Jose.
Sevilla tiene una cosa que solo tiene Sevilla, que solo tiene Sevilla, luna, sol, flor y mantilla, una risa y una pena, y la Virgen Macarena, que también es de Sevilla. Y tiene además Sevilla un tesoro
Not bad. And Dave's dancing's coming on too.
y su campana, la esperanza de Triana, que también es de Sevilla.
Ole!
The boys might think they've cracked it, but fortunately it's not their opinion that counts. What does the expert think?
Dave's dancing is good. He has agility to move, and he changed his weight easily, so he can move easily and better than others. Well, Alan is good dancer, but he's all the time looking at the floor, and it's not very nice. Well, Calvin is a person who has no rhythm at all in his body. So I think it's the worst one, but he smiles a lot, and I like that. This is good for dancing. I give Kelvin 5 from 10, to Alan 7, and to Dave an 8 from 10, because I think he's the best dancer.
Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Alan. Hasta la vista!
Well, the boys weren't too good with their feet, but how will the girls do with their hands?
Doesn't want to come up.
Squeeze harder.
It feels a bit hard, actually. Is it meant to feel hard?
The boys had Belara and 3 Spanish girls, and the girls have got Doug and 3 dollops of clay. All they've got to do is make a pot.
Right, if you could make something like that, I would be very, very pleased. That's all I'm really going for, just a cylinder, like a marmalade jar.
And they really want to please Doug.
This is really nerve-wracking. I can't remember what he did. Doesn't want to come up.
Squeeze harder.
It feels a bit hard, actually. Is it meant to feel hard? Just trying to get it into like a nice shape, but I don't really want it looking like a goblet. This is the most difficult challenge so far, I have to say.
Would you like me to come in and give you a little hand?
I think so, yeah. I don't like the bottom of it.
You get to a point where you say, that's it.
I think that's probably a nice little ashtray by the looks of it now, isn't it?
Okay.
I'd eat my cereal out of that.
I think, considering they've never touched clay before on a wheel, it's pretty amazing. They've listened very carefully. They've made some obvious mistakes that most people make when they first start. And I'm just looking at Sarah's part. This is actually following the aim, which was to make a cylinder. It's coming pretty close to it. And so Sarah is just marginally the winner over Joe.
But they didn't come to a 4-star hotel just to get their hands dirty. They came to enjoy the spoils of war. And to tell us what waging the war has taught them about themselves.
I didn't think I was a very confident person before, and I didn't think I could do very much. I think I was very clever at anything really, but being thrown into situations, I realise I can do it, and I do feel a lot more confident in myself.
Okay, Jo, I'm just going to apply the sweet almond oil now, okay?
And what it's taught them about their allies.
Probably Sue's sense of humour. I mean, I've always gotten really well with her, but just spending a lot of time with her, she's just really funny. She makes me laugh. I think we bounce off each other well, and she's just really thoughtful. And Sarah, I think I get on a lot better with her now after doing this. I mean, we always got on before, but we've had a few fractious times, but yeah, we've got closer definitely.
I've learnt that I quite enjoy sharing challenges with other women, and the feeling of us all achieving it together was much more satisfying than in the past doing something on your own. Jo's family, so I've seen her a lot at family dues and things, but we never really socialised together. And Sue, although I've known her a long time, we kept in touch mainly by email and just the odd phone call and the odd visit. But now I feel a lot closer to both of them because we've done so much together and we've had so much fun doing those challenges together. We do see a lot more of each other.
Well, at first I was really nervous and really aware of the cameras and people around, but after the first couple of days I was really enjoying it. No, and I think it's been good for me, really. I think as friends we've learnt more about each other, and because even though Jo and Sarah are related, I've been friends with both of them. I think it's made our friendship stronger.
And what of their opposition? What have the men learned?
I wouldn't say it's been life-changing, but I've learnt things about myself and all of the couples, really. We've all shown different skills and it's been really good.
Yeah. How fat I was on TV. It's made me go on a strict diet.
It made me appreciate things that she could do, things that I perhaps didn't think she would do. But overall, I don't think it's really changed things between Jo and I at all.
Well, not much by all accounts. But then again, they didn't come to Madrid for a session on relationships. They came for a football match.
I'm mental about football to come to something like this. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Usually watch Exeter City, so there's a bit of a difference.
We couldn't take our cameras into the stadium, but the boys found a way around that problem too, of course.
Never seen nothing like it.
Typical. For most of the game, nothing happened. Then, Beck saved the day with a last-minute goal. Well, at least they saw a victory.
Yeah, so it's good. First half was a bit flat. I didn't really get going, but second half livened up, and they won 2-0. We saw David Beckham come on and score.
And then an Englishman to come on and score when we're here.
So
can't get better than that.
What more could you ask for?
Really enjoyed it. It was good to see Beckham come on and score. That's the highlight.
Like being Exeter City?
It's a little bit bigger, a lot more people. But the football was the same standard in the first half, that's for sure.
I suppose a beer would round things off nicely now, wouldn't it?